Hello from Tulare, California, if that's pronounced correctly. I hope it is. I'm not sure. I read it on a piece of paper. But Tulare, California. It is the evening of September the 15th, 7:34 or 1934. We'll use just standard time, not military time, because a lot of people who are watching don't use military time. So yes, it's 7:30. My appointment was 4 o'clock this afternoon and have only just put me on a dock 3.5 hours later. I originally arrived at 2 o'clock this afternoon and they told me to go away and come back at about 3:30 because it is an appointment-based company and we have to respect our appointments. So it's kind of funny that we have to respect their appointments but they don't respect ours, because 3.5 hours just to get on the dock, and God knows how long they're going to take to unload me. Not going to really mention the name of the company, it's not important. It is quite amusing that they've got banners all over the place saying Driver Appreciation Week, we appreciate you. Well, if you appreciated us, you would not keep us on the docks losing money for hours and hours and hours and hours. This just comes recently from a load I did a few weeks ago in Los Angeles where I did two 10-hour resets in a 24-hour period. Two 10-hour resets in a 24-hour period. Can you believe that? So anyway, it sucks. Please, shippers and receivers, 2 hours. That's more than enough time. Actually, I went to a Costco in a suburb of Phoenix a couple of days ago to deliver a load, and I arrived at the security gate, loaded, and then got back to the security gate, unloaded in 45 minutes. So big shout out for Costco. You have a fantastic system. I wish everybody was like that. Like I say, 3.5 hours just to get on the dock, and probably another 5 or 6 hours to get loaded. And after that, I'm traveling over to Henderson, North Carolina, which is on the other side of the country, and I've got a limited amount of days, and I've just lost half a day. So they've pretty much ran me out of time. I've got no more time left on my 14, so chances are I'll be parking on this street, this glamorous street. So that's it. Kind of annoyed with shippers and receivers. It's getting worse, especially for reefers. If you're thinking, you know, do I want to be a flatbed driver? Do I want to be dry van? Do I want to be reefer? I personally like reefer. A lot of it's no touch, but it's probably the worst of the lot for sitting around and waiting times. Like I say, two 10-hour resets in a 24-hour period in Los Angeles. So beware of that. That's one of the things. Now, the company I work for, Night Transportation, or Night Refrigerated actually, my division, they do pay a higher per mile rate for reefer drivers, but you've got to factor that against you're going to be losing more time at shippers and receivers like these who really don't give a shit about the drivers and the drivers' earning potential. But never mind. So anyway, I was planning my trip, and it's just something I wanted to preach to you about here. Preacher man. I was planning my trip out, and what I generally do is I get my Rand McNally Motor Carriers Road Atlas out, plan my trip, and then I run it against the GPS to see if they agree with each other, and generally they do. But today I ran the GPS, and if you know where Tulare is, it's a little bit north of Bakersfield. It wanted me to run all the way down to Los Angeles to pick up 10, then 20. So you're heading really south before coming up to North Carolina, back on 40, which didn't make any sense whatsoever. When I planned my trip out, the best route obviously is US 58, and it's a beautiful little mountain climb through a valley to I-40, and I-40 straight across the country. It's the easiest route. So please don't just put your designated address into your GPS and just follow it blindly, because sometimes they can give you absolutely stupid trips. And it was over 250 miles more on the GPS than going my route, which I figured out on a paper map. So be aware of that. Never follow your GPS blindly. They're great tools, and I wouldn't be without one. I actually run two on my truck. Well, one GPS and the other one I just use for an overview. But I override them constantly. I look at it and say, that's not right, and generally it isn't. So please don't follow those things blindly. They'll get you in a lot of trouble. Keep away from Google Maps because it doesn't take into consideration your height, your width, or anything like that, your weight. Always get yourself a truckless GPS, enter in your truck's dimensions and maximum speeds, but still don't trust it implicitly. Like I say, it was going to add 250 miles onto my trip. So somebody's got auto start. Interesting. So it's really, really important with your GPS. Yeah, it's a great tool and it'll help you immensely, but just don't follow it regardless of where it. No, regardless. There's no such word as irregardless. I'm sorry about that. And that's really it. Hopefully in the next 10 years I will get out of this place. They'll load me and I'll be heading to Henderson in North Carolina. I wonder if he's going home. Lucky bugger. What else was there? There's something else I was going to cover, but I can't remember now. Oh yeah, shippers and receivers. You suck. Bye.